Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estella.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime. Hola, todos, everybody. Watcha. How are you doing today, sister of mine?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I literally just got off of work, so this was straight
From work to work.
to work. Yes, I literally just got off of work, and yeah, it was a long day. My son had oral surgery today.
Yeah.
So I was flipping the fuck out. Like, I just couldn't stop. I was so worried about him, but
Everything turned out.
everything, thank God, turned out great. Pero
Yeah.
ya sabes, siempre uno se asusta.
Pues sí. How, he's so little. I mean, he's not little, but
He's not a baby, pero
big.
like he's still small, you
had
know.
to be put under.
And pero bueno, I mean, it needed to happen because we were gonna end up there anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was able to find someone that would do it immediately. So
Yeah.
thank God for that. Other than that, everything's been good, chilling, villing, trilling.
As always.
Oh, Estela's eating Starburst. I'm gonna tell y'all las mamadas del día for me. Okay, so I get a backpack from work, right? And the day that I got my backpack, they were like, you get two more things that you can order from the online store or whatever for the company. So I'm like, okay, cool. So me compré una little shirt, little cute little shirt with the logo of the company.
Polo shirt?
Polo, yeah. It's I think it's like a Nike Golf, whatever. And then I got a jacket because they'll give me scrubs.
Wait. What was the other options?
Like anything. I could have anything. They had beanies. They had like
a mug.
Yeah, like mugs and all of that. So, but I was like, no, I'm good. I just want something so that I can wear. Because,
You can wear regularly.
Yeah. Pero me dieron la chamarra. Me dieron los scrubs, pero no la chamarra. Like those didn't come with my uniform. But most of the time, whenever you're wearing a uniform, then you don't know what to wear. Anyway, it's a long story, but I bought a jacket, okay? So I got a North Face jacket and I got the Nike Golf, whatever. So when my package came in, and so my manager was like, hey, your stuff from your order came in. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went in there and it was just a backpack. So she had told me that my scrubs were behind because of the lettering or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, ni modo, like I'll wait.
So you thought you had to wait for those también?
For the other stuff because, they were all embroidered. So I'm like, pues a lo mejor se van a tardar. So, and I showed it to her and she's like, that's all that was in there. And I'm like, sí. And so she's like, okay. Como que no se quedó ella conforme, ¿verdad? Pero yo me la traje. It rolled around. We went to Dallas this weekend. It rolled around in the back of the truck.
Really?
Yes. Since then. It's been everywhere. Fue a Dallas y vino. Y aquí la ha tenido aquí. La gata se la quería mascar, whatever. So then Estela comes over when we were about to record. And I'm like, oh, look at my new backpack. And I'm about to put my stuff because tomorrow I'm going to go to the office. Y luego I said, look at my new backpack. And Estela's like, oh, cool. Oh, a verla or whatever. We start talking. Cuando la voy abriendo y está la pinche chamarra y la blusa dentro.
Well, you thought was missing.
Which I thought was missing.
But not no more.
No.
¿Vas a estrenar mañana?
Mañana me voy a poner mi new shirt, ya. Está bien chida.
¿Y la
Es
mochila?
que ahí está bien la mochila
Y la chamarra.
porque
So vas a estrenar las tres cosas.
Todo, porque está bien fría la pinche oficina. Porque la owner...
Yeah, and then for it to be cold and Barbie saying that it's cold, then it's cold.
Y luego como, I'm used to running around and right now I'm a desk. So I'm just sitting there, so no me muevo y siento que I'm fucking freezing, se me caen los dedos and shit, but...
Se te entiezan.
Yeah, estoy bien entiesada. Pero yeah, I'm so excited for my new shirt and I feel like I belong. My jacket. But anyhow, today I will be discussing so this case, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of it because it was like really famous or made a lot of noise, the case, because of the fact that it just happened not too long ago.
Okay.
And not only that, but I just felt like it was something that not a lot of people had a lot of information on, so I had to do my research on it. But we're going to be talking about the case of Virginia McCullough. So this is a case that we're actually going to be going to to the Great Britain, not down under.
Okay. Across the pond.
And we're going to Great Bado. Oh,
I don't know, brother.
Essex. Essex, New England.
Okay.
Not New England, but England. So I'm going to say that again. Great Bado, Baddow, Essex.
Okay.
England.
Okay.
So if you'd like to come with us to Batto, Great Batto. I don't know if I'm saying it right, bro. Pero Great Batto, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's go across the pond with it.
Let's go with it. Ay, te, güey. Ay,
Oh,
te.
yeah. No, you could do both.
You can do tea, though. Have you ever had hot tea like that?
I've never, but they add milk and sugar to their tea. I've never done that. I just make a tea bag y así me lo empino con limón and honey.
Sí, güey.
I'm sick.
But you've been to England, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Y allá tomaste té o no?
No.
But
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't know.
So you can use your little pinky finger, bitch.
No, I was going to tell you there was a Snoop. I don't know why I didn't send you that thread. I'll send it to you if I find it. But it was a video of Snoop and he was trying like proper tea and crumpets and
Cuando
stuff.
andaba ya con la Martha Stewart que andaban en los Olympics.
Andaba con otro señor.
France. I mean, Paris.
Andaba con otro señor. The señor was British and they were, doing like proper drinking tea. Y Snoop was like, oh, I've never done this. He's like, am I holding it correctly? Y alzó el pinky. Mm-hmm. And he was like, and then the Englishman le dijo, well, when Snoop asked him, am I doing it correctly? He was like, well, when you lift your pinky up, that lets people know that you have syphilis. And then he was like, oh,
nuh-uh.
I don't know if that's true, but it was funny. I'll send it to you. It was funny. And then everybody, you could hear like
if there's
production.
Anybody from England that listens to us, let us know if that's
I don't know if they were just making fun of him or qué, pero it was funny. You could hear production in the back. Everybody started laughing.
They probably were just joking around.
But I thought I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But anyway.
So a lot of the run. Wow, what the fuck? Fun, random, interesting facts. Maybe
you should just abbreviate it.
Great Batto. GB. Is that there wasn't a lot.
Well, just pull up
all of them. No, I'm telling you. I found one. Hold on.
No. Pull up the pronunciation.
No, I don't want to. I want to say it wrong.
Okay.
Sorry. No offense, everybody that's from Great Batto. So the only thing there wasn't a lot of there's a lot of facts about it, but most of them were like about, things that I really didn't know what they were talking about. And if I don't know, then I'm not going to talk about it. So it said, archaeologists found that there's findings that prove evidence that the Great Batto area was inhabited during the Stone and Bronze Ages, as well as the Roman era. So this has been there for a long time.
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So there's archaeological finds proving evidence that the Great Batto area was inhabited during the Stone and Bronze Ages. So Stone Ages
inhabited by cave
people, inhabited by
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as well as the Roman era. So it's been like around for centuries. Thank you very much. So we're going to be talking about Virginia now. Loomis, Virginia here, like, I always say this about every case. It's sad, but, we've always said that the root of all evil is
El dinero.
So this is probably going to remind you of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of known facts around her upbringing. So basically what it is that there was maybe not a lot of people like made a lot of research about that, but there was nothing known about her. But her parents were born in the 1940s, both her parents. So they were very old school. Old school. They didn't show their emotions. They were, to each other or to their children. They slept in separate bedrooms, so the name of the parents was Lois and John McCullough. And so Lois had some OCD that you can tell now, but back in the day it was not OCD.
Nomás le decían que está loca or something, right?
Así es. So she had a lot of rules in cleaning, and she was very particular about how, she would clean her restroom and how the kids were like their etiquette in the restroom or in anywhere in the house. So she was really worried about germs and microorganisms y todo eso. She would scrub a lot. Like for hours. She would just sit and scrub. And she was also making sure that she would tell the kids how to do their laundry. Like she wanted it in a particular way, and she wanted it done this way and sorted this way.
Even though it wasn't her laundry?
It wasn't her laundry. It was her kids' laundry.
Oh.
But yeah. So Lois also suffered from severe anxiety. Can relate. And she was medicated for this at this time. She also suffered from agoraphobia, which is meant that people feel trapped when they're in a social setting. So kind of like have social anxiety, basically, and overwhelmed with crowds and everything that had to do with like crowds or people around her, she would avoid.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't do it, and she wouldn't have eye contact with people, and she wouldn't do small talk because she just was scared. Well, not scared, pero le daba, phobia.
Yeah.
John, on the other hand, was diagnosed to have autism. So he was in the autism spectrum, and he had a routine. Autistic people have routines, and he was very quiet, very shy,
reserved,
just very reserved. But I mean, it could be just because he was older as well. John would never stay anywhere long, and he would also avoid any eye contact. But that comes with being in the spectrum, right? The couple did believe in physical punishment for their kids. So, si se los puteaban,
yeah, especially, I mean, back in those times.
Yeah.
I mean, so, a lot of people did.
There were some sayings that one of the children would wet the bed often, and even like they had to call social services on them one time.
Tenían?
4 mujeres.
Okay.
All women. And they even had to get social services involved one time because I guess it got really bad because, I mean, you imagine like the kid is wetting their bed, their mom is OCD, y todo, so it was just a lot.
So they would hit the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She also said, all this information that I'm talking about right now is all from what Virginia would say.
Okay.
So Virginia would kind of bring certain things up, I guess, to, I don't know why she thought she excused or
make
whatever.
People feel bad for her?
For her, yeah. Oh, and the neighbors also often heard a lot of screaming around the house, como que oían que se peleaban y todo eso. According to Virginia, her mom, Lois, was very angry, and she would call her the happiness hoover. Yeah. So
Virginia would call her mom that, or
the
her mom?
Yeah, the happiness hoover. She would say that she would suck all the happiness from any room or situation. Yeah. Once again, alleged,
according to her.
It's according to her.
Well, maybe that's just how she saw things as she was growing up. Maybe that was her truth or her reality.
Yeah. She also said that her mother was very emotionally abusive towards her, and that she also accused both of her parents of not being there for her, which, I mean, if you're in the 40s, like I said, they're not very lovable and all this other stuff. Overall, they were not
quick question.
nice.
Who was born in the 40s, Virginia or her parents?
Her parents. No, Virginia was younger. Yeah, her parents.
When was she born?
To answer that, she's 36 at this point in time. Like right now in 24, she's 36 years old.
Yeah. Okay, so she was from what, 88?
Something like that. Yeah. So... But once again, there was not a lot of information, so I couldn't even find her date of birth.
It's crazy that you learn more about her parents than you do actually Virginia.
Well, there's a reason. So, yeah. So she had 4 siblings, like I said before. They were all women. One of the things that also Virginia would say that even though they were all 4 women, that she would usually like bathe her and smack her while she was being bathed.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shot fired! Shot fired!
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
So does anybody else? I don't know if you're probably going to get to.
I'm going to get to that.
No, pero do you know? Can you tell me if any of her other siblings later la contradicen or even speak up?
No. This is one of the 4 siblings says about that. She's saying that they were all lies. Virginia is... What she said about her was that, I quote, "This is a disgusting representation of our family." So she's saying that she was a liar.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the truth is. This is what she's saying. So I guess we're just going to go roll with it. In my mind, I would think, okay, maybe they had some issues, but maybe not as severe as what Virginia was saying, right? So I'm not sure if everybody moved out and she stayed there afterwards, or did she move out and then move back in? But at this time, and when we're talking about this case, she was already living with her parents again.
Okay.
So she was in her 20s and she was not able to keep a job. Like, she could not keep a job to help herself. There was a period of time where she did work at a bar, but that's the only known job that Virginia ever had. After that, nobody ever knows if she actually really had a job. Virginia did not have a good relationship with her sisters. We can tell, right? And one of her sisters would describe her as a compulsive liar and a manipulator. It sounded like there was some tension in between them, but everybody lived on their own, and then she lived with their parents, right? So she didn't have any friends. She was very socially awkward as well. So in 2018, Virginia is unemployed. For sure, now we know that she's living in 2018 with her parents in a 3-story house on a street called Pump Hill.
Okay.
And it's in the Great Bottle GB. And at this point, her parents are in their 70s and they're slowing down a bit, and they have a lot of ongoing health issues. So they're on various medications for her dad had diabetes and high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and Lois with her anxiety and her OCD, and she was getting way worse now that she's older. She is claiming that she was there to help her parents and that she was going to be there because they were getting older y que pues no los quería cuidar. And I really think that...
I mean, based on everything that you've said about her up to this point, that sounds like... No,
yeah. I'm calling cap, dirían los huercos. As we know, she's unemployed, but she was lying to them about that. She would tell them that she did have a job, and that she would end up making up jobs, and then she would make up jobs that she would get fired from.
Would she leave the house?
She would leave the house and dress up. Yeah.
Okay.
So she would make up jobs and then say that they allegedly unfairly fired her. Okay. So then after that, that's like I said, the worst part is that she would actually get dressed, bitch.
And leave.
Yeah. Like, me voy a trabajar, le echaban lonche, la chingada, el pinche cafecito, and she was going nowhere. At one point, she told them that she got a job as a web designer.
Okay.
And that she was making a lot of money. Right. And
¿No pagaba biles o qué?
No pagaba biles. And she was an artist, right? Pero she would even make drawings y se los enseñaba a todos because she was an artist. And
wait, was she, could she draw for reals?
Let me tell you. So she would draw houses and landscapes, pero people would, when they would see them, would be confused because they were horrible. And they were like, really? And then she said she was going to a famous art school. Y
con ese drawing.
Con los drawings. They sucked. Y luego and she was saying that que también they were asking her for her to sell those drawings de la casa y landscape because they were that good. And then she was going to sell them to an art gallery. Around this time, she started to steal money from her parents.
Ay, no, pobrecitos.
She convinced them to let her be the person, like the lead of her finances, since they were older already. She said, she mentioned something like, I told them that they would not understand the modern world.
Ay.
Of like online banking y todo eso, right? John and Lois trusted their daughter.
Yeah.
And they agreed to let her take over the finances, which was a horrible idea.
But again, not again, pero as a parent, you don't think que your own kid te va a estar estafando.
Yeah. So she gained total control of all of their finances over the bank accounts, their loans, their credit cards. I mean, all the money that they had and
La casa.
Todo, la casa, everything. She would transfer money from her parents' bank account to her own bank account and then use her credit cards to make purchases. She had a spending problem, so she could not stop taking money from them. Like, there was a point where she
random
would
ass shit, okay?
Stella, she would fucking spend money, ¿sabes en qué? On gambling on her phone. Yeah. She was buying everything that she ever wanted. And my question was this, like, how did her parents not notice? Or how did her other siblings didn't notice? Well, they trusted her.
Exactly.
And they were like,
she's handling it.
She's handling it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're me.
No, me. And so they didn't know what was going on. It seemed like her other siblings did have a closer relationship with her parents, but it was very weird because they were some neighbors saying que la mamá hablaba de los grandchildren a veces. Like she would say, oh, I saw my grandchild, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't get to see them often. Pero it seemed like, you know, they didn't really get together like family functions ni nada de eso. So they pretty much were alone with Virginia. Like ellos no tenían a nadie más también. She also started to make up that she was sick.
Virginia?
Mm-hmm, that she would say that she had thunderclap headaches.
Okay.
Okay. And she had a cyst. And then she went on to say that she was pregnant. She even bought a fake belly bump with her parents' money, of course. And then she faked a miscarriage.
Why do people do that?
Girl, you didn't hear.
Why can't you even buy one? I know we've done cases about women that have bought.
Girl.
Yeah, pero the fact that you can even buy, I mean, you can buy anything online nowadays.
Yes.
Si quieres una nueva familia, I'm sure you can buy one online. Pero,
I'm going to look into that.
No.
Oh, my bad.
You're never going to get rid of us.
Oh, my bad.
I just don't understand why there's fake sonograms.
Side story, guys. This is a side story, okay? My sister Vanessa just sent me a story on a lady that her best friend told her she was pregnant. They took pictures, bitch. She went to the hospital and she had a baby bunk that she bought. Y se compró un baby de baby doll. And she would take pictures of the baby doll and tell her that was the baby she birthed.
Yeah, pero eso ya
and she wasn't pregnant.
No, I know, pero I think eso es a little bit more like no está bien de la mente a lo mejor.
I mean, anybody that does that,
No, but I think she's doing it for attention. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with this, but we're going back to the story.
Yeah.
So there's no actual reason on why Virginia was doing these things. Maybe she just wanted to fit in. I don't know.
Fit in with who? No tenía amigas.
No tenía amigas, no tenía nada. I don't know.
No trabajaba.
Or did she try to cause attention to herself? And stealing the money got even worse. She was stealing tens and thousands of pounds out of the accounts of her parents and making them even in debt. And they had no debt, you know? She would lie. She would, like I said, online gamble, bitch, and lose thousands of pounds. Not just like one or two, no, thousands of pounds. And her parents did find out that something was not okay. And they went up to her y le preguntaron, hey, what's going on? You know, we're in this debt. We're getting all these letters and phone calls.
De todos modos te van a llegar las cartas a la casa. You're going to get phone calls from...
And guess what she told them? That they were...
Que la estafaron?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That it was a hacker online and that they were taking their money. That actually they were being hacked and that they were being stolen from.
And she les dijo, hey, I'm trying to figure it out, o qué verga?
She said she was figuring it out, that she had called the bank and that she had made a report to the police. Virginia managed to convince her parents that they were going to get some of the money back, que les iban a dar como 160,000 pounds, which is like...
How much she had already spent?
No, that's what she told them.
Okay.
They were going to get back. Mm-hmm. But it was a lie.
Of course. Yeah.
She would orchestrate all of these lies and then she would like have her parents listening to her bullshit. She would act like she would call the fucking police hoe and say...
Filing a report and shit?
Yes. And then she even made up fake documents that would be like from the police department saying, hey, you know, blah, blah, I'm looking. And she actually called her parents from another phone acting like she was a police officer.
Why are you putting that much work into dumb shit like this when you can actually go and get a job and actually work?
Yeah.
And get money. Get your own money.
She really did sound like she was legit. Like they were stealing money from her.
Well, yeah.
So they believed it. Like, I mean, they're, like you said, they're older. They're on medication. They don't know, you know, whatever. So Lois, the reason why I know that Lois did believe it was because Lois did have a pen pal, and she would actually write to this pen pal for years, and she told her all about the fraud.
Yeah.
Le dijo que le estaban robando y que they had like amounts of money that they had stolen from her, and so that's the only way that I can think que sí les creyó, you know. Que
I'm sure again, like they didn't have reason not to believe that she was, you know, not telling them the truth. So in March of 2019 is when she had already scammed her parents out of about 60,000 pounds. Wow. So in dollars and American money, $77,179.50. Yikes.
Yeah. She could not stop. She just couldn't stop. She just kept taking. Yo pienso que after a while, Like, wouldn't you
You're
be
never
like...
you're never satisfied.
You're never satisfied.
Well, especially when gambling is like a disease, right? Like you become addicted to it. So I don't know, dude.
So she started getting scared because she was gonna get caught, dude. So empezó a preocuparse, and so she was like, "What do I do?" Like,
stop.
Yeah, how about that? She knew that her lies could only take her so far. So then she thought, well, what would be I think it would be a good idea if I murdered my parents.
Para que no me cachen.
Yep.
And then I could just, me van a dejar herencia o qué?
I don't know. She said that she wanted to be free from all of her problems, and she was
get a job.
Yeah, because she was stressing out about them, and they were gonna find out.
¿Y le iban a meter a la cárcel?
Le iban a meter a la cárcel. And she said that she needed peace. So she took months and months, and she decided that she was going to kill them and how she was going to kill them. So between March 2019 and June 2019, she started to hide away some of their drugs, some of their medications. And then she would like give them different like concoctions para ver si le hacía un efecto. También compró una knife, and she also bought a pill crusher to crush the pills that she was going to use, and she would put it in the food or drinks of her parents so that she can see which one was more effective. Bitch, if that's not premeditation, bitch, then I don't know what is.
I've never seen a more premeditated murder.
Right? She also did a test run. She did a test run, bitch, and she would put drugs into their food and then see if they could taste it.
Pero los quería dormir, or she was just trying shit out?
She was just trying shit out. A ver qué es lo que, a ver cómo reaccionaban. Ajá. So, I mean, los pobrecitos, they would eat it.
Pues
they would drink it.
Yeah.
And then she would see if there was any side effects. I'm like, are these fucking like guinea pigs or what the hell? Don't even do that to guinea pigs, please. So, and then she would just try her best to kind of cover up and just keep doing it again, right? So after that, trying, on the 17th of June, she crushed up some meds she had been trying out on her parents that...
This was still in 2019?
Yes, 2019.
Okay.
So by this time, we're on the 17th of June. She started crushing these medications up that she had been,
mixing,
saving or whatever. And I guess she thought, okay, these are a good idea. And she put them in, made some drinks. So John, her dad, would always drink a Guinness every night. And she said that she prepared it for him y se lo chingó. Se tomó 1.5. So he had 2. And her mom, Lois, she didn't drink alcohol. Pero esa noche, she let her have some soda, some coquita. Yeah? And she put some in the cup for her. Pero Lois didn't want them. So she only drank a couple of sips y le dijo que ya no quería.
A lo mejor le supo rara.
Sí, I mean, a lo mejor. So she didn't finish it. So, I mean, after that, she waited a while, and then she helped her parents upstairs to their beds to lay them out to sleep.
Okay.
As she would do. On the next day, the 18th of June, she calmly went, and she went to go check up on her dad first. And when she went up to her dad wasn't breathing anymore. So on that day, she would say that Mr. John lost his life at 70 years old.
Wow.
So she went to go see him y ya no estaba respirando.
You said that her parents, did they still sleep in separate bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Ajá. So, de luego, dijo, pues voy a ir a checar a la señora. She went to go check on her mom, and she was still alive.
Okay.
She was still alive.
Yeah.
But she was really out of it. She was kind of zoned out, como dizzy and disoriented from the effects of the medication, porque ella casi no le tomó a la coca. Virginia did have a plan B, though. You already know. And remember how I mentioned that she had bought a knife?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she used it?
Not yet. She was planning, she was, like I said, thinking about what she was going to do when she was surprised that her mom wasn't dead. But before she went to go grab the knife, she, I guess in her mind, thought it was a better idea to grab a hammer. So le prendió el radio a la señora while she went to go get the hammer. So she said that she turned on the radio so that she could make her mom more calm in her last moments. So she came back with the hammer. She walks into the room, and at one point she even said, I felt kind of bad for wanting to kill her mom.
Kind of bad?
Yeah. And then she was kind of like, como que going back and forth with her own emotions, como que si lo hago. So she's now just standing there
with the
back
hammer.
And forth with the hammer in her hand. And then I guess she thought I went too far, and she
couldn't turn back.
Yep. She smashed her mom's head with the hammer one time. She thought she was going to kill her, but her mom didn't die. No se murió la señora. So then at that point, she's like, how did you find, like, what's going on? She's not dying. So her mom turned around and looked at her and said, what are you doing?
Oh.
Yeah. Even though Lois was out of it, she knew that she got hit in the head and that, you know, she was still alive enough, you know, to say, hey, what's going on? Virginia then stared at her. And once again, she could have stopped.
Yeah.
You know, pero no. She did lock eyes with her for like 20 seconds, she said. And then she went out and grabbed the knife. She brought it back and she proceeded to stab her. She stabbed her over a total of 8 times. Wow. On the neck mostly, you know, and whatever. And at one point, Lois did start to fight Virginia. So then she switched back to the hammer.
Oh.
And she started to hit her with the hammer. Now, Lois was nearly dead when Virginia just stood there and she was able to hold her hand until she passed away. And she told her she was sorry and she wished this would not have ended like that.
What?
So she sat there and watched her until she died. Yep.
Oh my God.
After that, this girl started her day, girl. She just started going on about her day. She left the house and she went to, I guess, like the hardware store, B&Q. That's what they call it. I'm guessing that's what they had. She ordered 40 cinder blocks of cement, sand, some cement, and a stepladder. And then she, at the same time, when she was leaving that, she called her parents' bank, ordered herself a new credit card. Okay? She did do some mile-long shopping. She had a little bit of time, you know. And she shopped for some jewelry and some clothes. And then later on that day, the day of the murder, this is all the same day of the murder, she texted her sister pretending to be her mom. And she told her, and I quote, Dad and I are at Seaside this week. We'll catch up with you soon. Love, Mom. Kisses. This is what she texted her sister, acting like her mom.
Right.
She went back home and, girl.
Went about her day.
2 days pass. And she now realizes she has 2 dead bodies, and what is she going to do after 2 days? Her idea, I guess, I don't know what was she planning on doing, but the best thing for her to do in her mind was that she was going to bury her parents inside the house. So she did just that. She puts her parents' bodies in some sleeping bags that she had ordered online. And she drags the first body, which is her dad, she drags them into his own room and in the corner in the back. And she actually used 11 rolls of plastic, como de esos de moving plastic. And she rolls him out in the 11 rolls. And she puts them inside of the like a, como en una corner. Y de allí.
Del cuarto.
Y de allí, she started building a tomb around. Yeah.
She's right there in the corner?
She's right there in the corner.
I thought you were going to say que los iba a meter abajo de la alfombra or something, or like the wood floors or some shit.
No, ella les hizo una tomb al señor. So, al señor, right? So, ahí lo hizo y lo empezó a poner, yes.
So, that's where she bought the cinder blocks for, or que compró?
Yes, She bought the cinder blocks para hacerles el tomb y les puso, yo creo por eso se tardó en agarrar, por eso se tardó 2 días, porque pues todavía no llegaban lo que necesitaba. And so then in front of there, ella empezó a poner los cinder blocks y hizo un tomb para el señor. Now, after this, she went upstairs to her mom and also the same thing, pero ella no le hizo tomb. Ella nada más la aventó en un cabinet. Sí. Y luego la encerró con Gorilla Tape, el cabinet. Y luego empezó a poner los cinder blocks enfrente del cabinet.
What?
Yeah, pero ella no le hizo tomb, ella nada más la aventó.
Pero le hizo tomb outside, right? Because you said que le puso los cinder blocks outside of the cabinet.
Sí, Pero, I mean, al dad por lo menos lo acostó, güey. A la señora nada más la aventó así.
Donde cabiera.
Donde cayera la pobre. So, after this, Virginia just went about her life. She just is like, okay, I'm good. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She would, Estela, when I tell you this lady would eat, sleep, do everything in her life.
Like nothing.
Nothing.
Como si viviera sola.
Como si viviera sola.
O esta es mi casa.
Mi casa, ya tengo casa, whatever.
Tengo dinero.
Not only that, she also did continue to receive her parents' pension. So they were still sending her money and, you know, she would constantly open new credit cards under her parents' name and max them out. Not only that, but she would continue taking monies from their account. And the thing is, no one noticed. Nobody noticed that they were gone because of them being so, like...
They kept to themselves.
They were, like, nobody. But
y ya estaban retirados.
And everything. Now, it was a little bit suspicious when the neighbors would start noticing that Virginia started to tell them a little bit of crazy lies, pero ella misma no se acordaba de las pinches lies que decía.
Yeah, so ella misma se echaba de cabeza.
So she kept changing the story, so the neighbors were like,
that's not what you
said last time. So the neighbors were kind of like, okay, so the way que ellas vivían en su casa, it was a 3-story house, pero está bien, haz de cuenta que it's really small. Pero the other one, this side, the other house, is like the wall está pegada.
Like a duplex?
Like a duplex.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how their relationship was with the family or their dynamic or
like with
whatever.
The neighbors que había al lado?
With anybody.
Okay.
Because if nobody noticed that their parents were gone, like, I mean, I don't know what was going on.
And if they shared a wall with other people, did anybody else hear?
That's what I'm saying. And no, nothing. So 2019 turns into what? 2020. And guess what?
The
pandemic. The Panera Bread. And COVID hit. So everybody was in lockdown. Right? So then things started to kind of fall into place for her because she's like, now people will really not notice because
nobody's leaving their
houses. Yeah. She would also make doctor's appointments for her parents and then cancel them.
What?
Yeah. She would make doctor's appointments.
I guess para nomás seguir, like make it seem.
I don't know. She continued to send cards and little letters to her siblings and their grandchildren, and they just, I guess they never questioned it. I mean, they were still getting mail. They were still getting phone calls and texts. I mean, she literally would call them, like with her own voice, bitch.
Pretending to
be her mom. And then she would also call the cops pretending to be her mom, complaining about noise and complaining about the neighbors, dude. That there was people bothering her in the neighborhood. And she called the police a total of 238 times. Yeah, 238 times. Now, if this isn't enough, she would spend hours pretending to sweep the front of the house, como que no se quería meter para la casa. So pasaba horas just sweeping 2 leaves.
Why?
She also tried to become...
Antes no se puso a aspirar allá afuera.
Como yo que quiero ir a aspirar la grass cuando alguien choca. So then, at this point, she also tried to become friends with...
But why did she want to go inside?
I don't know. Guilt, I guess. I don't know.
That reminds me... I don't know if you did, The Telltale Heart. Did you ever read that in middle school or whatever?
Mm-mm.
That... like he could hear the heartbeat of the person that he killed that was under the floorboards.
Yeah,
but it was just his conscience.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I don't know if I forgot what that really was, but I don't know. I think we read it in elementary or middle school. Ya no me acuerdo.
Yeah, I don't think you should be reading those books in elementary school.
Oh, whatever.
She also tried to become friends with the people around her, like the people que estaba ahí al lado y todo. And she would walk around in the neighborhood and would make conversations with everyone, but everybody, and all she talked about was her parents. Like she would be like...
La conciencia,
yeah,
güey.
La conciencia. And she would just like, was one of those people que nada más la empezabas a hablar y ya no paraba. She would get diarrhea of the mouth. And she would not stop talking, dude. Like just talking. Word vomit. To a point where she would say some weird ass shit. Like, oh, the police is after me because I killed my parents.
What?
Yeah. And other times she would talk about how they moved away. And other times
if your neighbor will tell you... I'd be like, I believe you, bitch. Because I don't think anybody would just tell you that to tell you that. I'd be like...
Pero, I mean, if you're looking at her como que la ves como que está loquita, güey. Like, I mean, I would be like, esta pinche vieja loca. Like, I would not, like, straight up. And then she said that that people, I guess they would just started to ignore her because she would do it so much que they were kind of like, whatever, bitch.
And like you said, maybe... Well, yeah, I guess, because you said que la miraban barriendo 2 hojas allá afuera.
Wait, barri horas, 2 hojas, no mames.
But you said que su mom still made calls, so maybe people thought that,
like, ay, mira, esta está loquita, you know, what the fuck?
No está bien, la pobre.
She then would buy the neighbors so many things. Like, she would buy the neighbors, like...
They're trying to buy their...
plants, flowers, crafting supplies.
So... crafting supplies.
Yeah, I don't know. That was
to make it seem that I'm such a good person. I would never be able to do any of the things that.
And the neighbor que te digo que lived like on the like right next door to her, like en la puerta, she would order them Chinese food or leave them donuts outside para que cenaran and stuff like that. I don't know. And another time, she also did fake another pregnancy again. Yeah, she did.
To who? I don't think anybody cared.
But she would walk around and wear the fake belly, right? And walk around in the town, I guess, because it's a small town.
Yeah.
And she would walk around and show everybody fake sonogram pictures. And be like, yeah, I'm pregnant, look. Así como loquita te estoy diciendo. I'm telling you. So this brings us to August 2023. Okay, so it has now been 4 years since the murders.
Of her parents.
Of her parents. And Virginia has been living with her parents' bodies for 4 years. Okay? She would tell people that she was, like, empezó como que to really alucinar. So she would tell people that she was being spied on and that her ring was being hacked by someone.
Her ring camera?
Her ring camera. And she started and then this one was the one where I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, si estaba loquita la pinche vieja. She started calling up the police herself. And she,
not as her mom, but as herself.
Not as herself. And she actually called them one time and told them that two men attacked her in her garden. And the police came over to look around, bitch. And went into her house and sat on her fucking sofa to get a fucking report. Yeah.
No.
Yes. And they even sat in the fucking living room. Yeah.
With her dead parents upstairs.
Parents. No, well, one was upstairs and one was downstairs.
Oh, one of their rooms was upstairs. Oh my God.
Yeah. Y luego, to make matters worse, in September...
How can it get worse?
Well, it can. In September 2023, the local...
A year ago.
A year ago. The local doctor, the general practitioner, started to really kind of pay attention because he was like, okay, this couple hasn't been in the office for 4 years. They make appointments and then they cancel. And then...
It's not funny, but it's just so unbelievable.
It's unbelievable because it happens.
Yeah,
you know?
it happened.
And it happened. And they both took medications that they needed, like refills.
Yeah,
and they needed to see the doctor.
And they couldn't be without.
No. So on September the 1st... the front desk of the office called the police and said that they wanted a welfare check on Virginia and, of course, on Virginia, on Lois and John. And, you know,
I'm sorry, good on the doctor's office.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because whenever I read that, I was like, that actually happens. Because you start like noticing like, oh, I haven't seen them in a while. Like me working in the medical field, not in the front desk, I can tell when people are like,
you know, the patients.
Okay. Yeah. There's times where you're like something, or even when they come in and you know something is not right with them.
Off.
Like you're like,
are you
what?
good?
Are you okay? And then I would always go tell the doctor, hey, so-and-so came in and I don't think they're okay because they're not usually like this, you know? So next thing you know, this is where it's going to get a little dicey. Okay. They called her y le dicen, hey, where are your parents?
La policía le habló.
La policía. And she's like, oh, primero la office y luego la policía. So the office calls her and she's like, no, they're out of town. Or, you know, the fucking same shit. Que no estaban, que no sé qué. They were traveling and they had left their phones to travel.
Okay.
On September the 15th, now the police went over with the warrant. And when they went over...
Ya andaban sospechando.
Ya no estaban sospechando.
No, andaban sospechando.
Ya andaban sospechando, sí, perdón. Now, I want everybody to know that's listening that you can go online and you can see the fucking body cam footage of this bitch, okay?
I'm gonna look it up.
Once
we're done.
You need to. So, like I said before, they did go with the warrant to her house. This was on September the 15th, right? Y no puedes creer que they had the body cam footage. Entra el señor.
¿En qué año? ¿2020?
En el 2023.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Last year. Okay, yeah.
And so then, the body cam se ve cuando quebran la ventana y se meten y empiezan.
¿O no le tocan la puerta?
No le tocan, no. So then they find her standing there and they holler at her to stay where she's at, right? And she just stands there and she's holding her hands up like this, and then you can see her in the camera. She has like platinum bleach blonde hair, but her root is black.
Okay.
And she's just pale, blanca como papel. And then they tell her that she's under arrest for suspicion of murder.
Oh, shit.
And she's standing there and she's letting the cops poniéndole las
esposas.
A las esposas. Hasta le ayudó al cop a bajarse Sí, ajá. And then she continues to say, I'll cooperate.
I mean, wait, I think she already knew the jig was up.
I think so. And they ask her if there was anything in the house that they needed to know about. And that's when she tells them, yes,
Yikes.
Can I take you to it?
Oh, no.
Y entonces el cop le dijo, no.
Tell me where
Tell me what are you're not going to get out from here. So le dice, you cannot leave. They said, well, can we move into that room over there so I can tell you what's over there? Y ya el cop le dijo, okay, porque they just walk like that. Y ya cuando entraron, she started, Estela, when I tell you, she told them absolutely everything.
En ese momento.
En ese momento. She said that her dad's body was over there in that corner y le enseñó al cop. They don't show it, pero they do show you like the way como el cop está volteando a ver para allá, a donde está el pinche tomb. And then le dice, and then le dijo, le explicó que le había dado el Guinness.
La medicina.
La medicina y que no sé qué, y que no sé qué. Y entonces ya le explicó todo lo que yo ya les expliqué y luego les dijo y luego le preguntan, where's your mom? Y luego ella voltea y le dice, oh, that's a different story. Y entonces voltea y le dice al cop, well, where is she? Y le dijo, well, if you go up the stairs, if you... Y Estela le dijo cómo entrar, dónde estaba.
Les hizo casi un mapa, pues.
Les hizo un mapa. Absolutamente. Pero con una voz tal más calmada, Estela. Pero it was just incredible for me to see something.
I'm sure it was very eerie to see.
Very eerie.
Or to hear.
And then from there, the cop kind of starts like telling her, you know, like he was in shock.
Yeah.
The cop, because he's like standing there writing things down because I guess getting a statement from her. Porque at this point now she's giving a statement, but they didn't even ask her shit. Like she's just talking.
Yeah.
Once again, like she would do before, like just blabbing shit out. And so then she said, yes, I understand. I need to pay for what I did. I need to go to jail. And it was time. And then she's just on and on and on, right? And then she's just talking and talking. And so then the
police officer
sergeant le dice, or police officer, le dice, okay, well, let me go over what I wrote. Y le puso, okay, so you saying your name, blah, 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 y que no sé qué. Y luego le dice, and that your mother is dead in the cupboard upstairs. Y le dice, no, not a cupboard, in the wardrobe.
Oh. Get it right. Get it right.
Get it right, bitch.
Get it tight.
No. It's not the cupboard. It's in the wardrobe. Le dijo
Está más
como
grandota.
4 veces.
Yeah.
Le dijo como, it's not the cupboard. It's the wardrobe, the one that's next to the sink, and no sé qué. And she tells him the whole story. And they're just standing there like...
in disbelief, I'm sure.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, right? So then the cops are like walking around or whatever. And there is actual video of this, Estela. She turns to the officers y le dice, and I quote, cheer up. At least you caught the bad guy. Así le dijo. End quote. Yeah.
I have no words.
Then
I don't know what to say.
The cop turned around and told her and was like, this is not a joke. We're not joking. And she starts giggling.
No, es que ya no está bien.
No.
She ain't right. She ain't right.
No. Okay. So then from there, she keeps saying about how she wanted peace, que she was, que it was time for her to go, que no sé qué. So then they start walking out. Like she was just, the cop is probably like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, let's go. Because we need to get you.
Cállate.
Que me desesperas. Yeah. No, or like at least get her like into the fucking jail to start processing her or something, because this is still at the house, bitch.
Yeah.
This is all happening.
They're like, we need to get a crime scene here.
And that's what the cop told her. It's like, this is a crime scene now, blah, blah, blah. Y luego le dice, oh, before we leave, in that bag over there, there's a credit card that you should know of. And there's a lot of purchases on there that you should be aware of. I just wanted you to know where everything is at.
So she was just laying out all the crimes. Yeah. Before she left the house.
Before she left. Y le dijo, and you're going to need to take that with you. And that has evidence that you need. O sea, basically, like, it seemed like she was trying to kind of like caerles bien. Like, kind of like acting like she was being helpful.
And she was.
But she was being helpful, pero like, she didn't give a shit. Like, bro. And then her voice was just... You have to listen, guys. Like, you really do have to listen. And so then, finally, they took her. La llevaron al precinct or whatever, al jail. And when she's in the jail cell, wow. In the jail cell, guess what? No se cae el puto hocico. Sigue hablando. La tienen sentada, ella va, fa. Y le empieza a decir... Hasta les dijo dónde estaban el hammer y el knife, y les dijo que tenía sangre todavía, y que y que it was wrapped in a no sé qué, y que estaba abajo de las stairs. Bueno, todo la verga les dijo. Y luego she tells them all of this, and then she's all like, I know you're probably tired of me talking, but I just want to make sure that you have all the information that you need for the case. And the cops are just like, stop. Like, you fucking need to stop. Please. So all of this happened, and then the rest, this is exactly when the rest of when this came out, in the news is when the rest of the family found out.
Like las
what had
hermanas?
happened. Las hermanas. They found out that she was arrested. They did
For the
give
murder
a
of their
statement
parents.
for the murder of her parents. They did give a statement. They were saying that, and I quote, that they were not given the opportunity to say goodbye to their parents, to their parents. And another sister actually said that they were sick to the core with what Virginia had done.
Well, yeah, bitch, porque todavía les andaba hablando pretending to be their mom.
Bitch, I would have been like, so was that not like a girl?
Like, imagine that.
That would have been,
You'd
that
be
would have
mind
fucked
fucked.
with me.
Oh,
That would
for
have
sure.
fucked with me. Like, dude, no, I literally just talked to
and
you
it's like-
yesterday.
Yeah, it's like thinking, todos estos años, they were already dead.
Bitch, les estaba mandando cartas, güey.
A los niños.
A los niños and happy birthday and I love you, que no sé qué pinche pedo, y era ella. That's not okay. Like, no. Anyway.
I don't think I would be able to ever recover.
No, me neither. So after this, they proceeded with the criminal, case and everything. They began, and they didn't even go to trial because she pleaded guilty.
Oh, yeah, pues ya les dijo todo. Desde el principio, güey.
Todo, güey. Desde que nació de la vagina de su mamá, yo creo.
Yeah, they didn't even make it out the house. Y ya les dijo dónde estaba todo.
And in October 11th of 2024.
Like a month ago.
She showed up in court to be sentenced, and at this time of the offenses, they
Say that again.
At the time of the time of the sentencing, that's what I meant, not sentences. They said that she had a personality disorder and that she had signs of psychosis and she had some depression, but they never said that it was something that was like, I guess ¿cómo se le llama? It would affect her sentencing. Like it wasn't something they were like, oh, well, we're not going to sentence her because of that. No.
Well, and I think too, they couldn't tell what her mental state was at the time that she killed them.
Yeah.
So it had been 4 years up to that point. Yeah. So,
and they can only go based on what she said.
Yeah.
And she did get sentenced to life in prison for the murder of her mother, Lois, at 71, and her father, John, at 70 years old. And she was given a possibility of parole after 36 years of being in jail.
No.
Yep.
So she's 36 now, and 36 ya va a estar casi la puerta de the end of her life.
The end of her life. Yep. So that is the unfortunate story, or the unfortunate case of John and Lois McCullough.
I can't.
And you know how I found out about this case?
TikTok?
No. My daughter.
What?
She's like, Mom, did you hear about that lady that killed her parents and she had been living with them for 4 years? I'm like, what?
How did she hear about it?
I don't know. I guess TikTok or somewhere. I guess TikTok, I'm sure. Or maybe some like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't fucking listen to the news.
No.
But yeah, so that's how I found out about the story. So shout out to my daughter for that. She will never hear this, but
I'll thank her.
Yeah,
I'll send her a
we'll
text.
thank her. But yeah, what do you think?
I don't think I can form a proper thought as to what I think. It's so unbelievable. And I know we've been doing this for a while, and we hear like cases like this, pero no puedo catar, como que no. Es que para eso, like, no tienes que estar bien de la cabeza.
No tienes que estar bien de la cabeza.
Like, there's no way that a sane person can do that.
No. And the fact that she sat there and made a tomb for them, dude, that's another level of fucked up.
I thought that you were going to say that she was going to dismember them.
No.
I thought that's what you were going to say, honestly.
No.
Pero
well, she had the decency not to do that. But, I did see another thing that I don't think I added on there. They were so badly decomposed by now. It had been 4 years. They only had their dental records.
I'm sure.
That's how they were able to
identify
them. But yeah, they did identify them before she went to court.
Like, I just can't imagine her sisters. Like,
bro, that right there, like, fuck. That's fucked up.
And I'm sure you think back to, like, why didn't I come around more to my parents?
Yes.
Maybe, like, I would have noticed something.
I would have noticed. Or maybe, what if I would have came over, instead of just expecting her to call, whatever. And I guess it's all about coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, and you can't. But it wasn't their fault. It was her. She was the one that.
And because for money and for attention and for what? She ended up by herself. Now she's in a cell by herself. And now what?
Ahí se le va la vida.
Like, se va a poner pregnancy pillows allá también? Okay. Yeah. I don't know, but that's some fucked up shit. But thank you so much for listening. You can follow us at
on Instagram at Cafecito and Crime Pod. And if you want to support us and the podcast, you can download our episodes, rate us, and or leave us a review.
Please.
If you would like to send us a message, leave us a comment, we really appreciate it.
Reading your messages, and everybody that sends us messages. Let us know if you're from Britain, Great Britain, from England, Great Britain, from Barrow.
Yeah,
and
it's okay. Yeah.
No, wait. I want to know if the pinky means that they have STDs.
STIs. I don't know. You could just Google it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening.
And we'll talk to you in the next one.
Bye.